Hello, girls. Good morning, and welcome to the last lesson of this topic. So, this was a really nice and short topic, and I suppose not so hard as the previous topic, graphs. All right, so it's a very step by step kind of you're learning a method and you're just following it. So just I know I at the moment I keep on mentioning this in each and every video. Please make sure you watch the video lessons that myself and Miss Julia are preparing for you. Girls, on YouTube, I get to see how many students are viewing the lessons, and compared to the number of students we teach, it's quite a few girls. Please, you have a responsibility yourselves to do your work. Please don't take this as time off from school. Like, we have a responsibility to create this kind of material for you and to be there for you online. You also have a responsibility to follow the lessons and to do your work. Now, I know some of you want to do everything on one day. Maybe you have a day for maths and you finish everything on one day. But regarding mathematics, I can only talk about mathematics, I would not recommend it because sometimes you need time for certain concepts to sink in. You need time for your mind to make sense of these new thought processes, how to think more logically, and all of that. So I would not recommend doing everything on one day. Please try to make time for mathematics every single day, 5 days a week. And also, if you're having any issues, please send either myself or Miss Julia an email. Speak to us on Microsoft Teams. You have that. Be open to just writing a message with the whole class and asking your query. It should not be any different to asking me a question in class. And I try to, as much as possible, help you. Until now, I think I am managing, but it's also up to you. Also, guys, there is a homework you have to give me regarding graphs. It was the last graphs homework. It was a Friday announcement. They are slowly, more of you are slowly giving them to me, but still not enough. Anyway, I've done my rant, and I think it will be the last one for quite a while. Let us finish off this topic. All right. So for today, what we're going to be focusing on is solving inequalities. Now, solving inequalities, or let's consider the term solving, you've been doing it. We've been doing it since year 7. It's where we have to find the value of the letter x. All right. Now, usually, with solving, you are given an equation. And how do I know it's an equation? Because we'll have the equal symbol. But now we have an inequality with the brackets. But for us to work it out, and you have a comment over here, we are going to work it out as if you do have the equal symbol. The only one thing you need to remember is you need to make sure that you keep x positive. And I'm going to show you regarding important to keep x positive, especially in example 3. And let's start with example 1. Now what I'm going to do, guys, I am going to cover the working, and I'm going to do it myself on the side, step by step, on the right hand side. Mela, let's start. So it's telling us, we have a note. To solve inequalities, we work it out as though it had an equal symbol. So let me write my inequality again, but instead of with the bracket symbol, I have the equal symbol. Mela, how many terms now do I have? 1, 2, and 3. Now the first thing you need to do is you need to collect like terms. Which of these 3 terms are the same? The plus 4 and the 16. So let's have them all, let's collect like terms. Let's take them all to one side. So let's remove the plus 4 and let's take it to the other side. So 3x equals 16 minus 4. And 3x, 16 minus 4, 16 minus 4 is 12. Now, do we know what the value of x is? Is x on its own? No. What's attached to it? The 3. How? By a multiplication. So, what's the opposite of multiplication? Division. So when I go on to the other side, I say 12 division by 3. 3, 6, 9, 12, which is 4. And so your answer is 4. But it's not equals 4. I don't know if I can move this. Let's see. It's not equals 4. Aha, I can. No? Okay. Delete it. Okay. It's not equals 4, sorry guys. It's brackets like we're seeing over here. So what I have to do is, let me go back here. Let me get this. Instead of having the equals, I am going to put this bracket symbol. Now I don't know if I can select. Oh, I should have thought about it before. I want to, no. I want to select, so what I'm going to do, I'll do it in color. I'm going to remove the equals, sorry guys. Alright. And I made quite a space so that I know where I'm going to put the equals. Where I'm going to put the brackets. And instead of the equals, alright, I am going to put my bracket symbol. And my brackets, I'm going to put it the same that I have over here. Sorry, that I have written over here. Given to me in the beginning. So, the same format. With the mouth pointing towards the 3x, because that is how it gave it to me. And I just keep it the same. So this just means telling me that x can be any value that is equal to 4 or larger. Alright? Well, let's do the same thing. And let us pretend instead of the brackets, I've got the equal symbol. So 5x plus 7 equals 32. Mela, collecting like terms, plus 7 and the 32. Mela, plus 7, the opposite of positive is negative. So now it becomes 32 minus 7. And if I'm not mistaken, it is 25. Alright, I'm even going to check my calculator, guys, just in case I make a mistake. I remember even in the exam, 1 plus 1, I had to write it on the calculator. Mela, 25, good. So 5x equals 25. Is x on its own? No. What's attached to it? 5. How? Division. So what's the opposite of multiplication? How? Multiplication. What's the opposite of multiplication? Division. So 25 division by 5. And 5 into 25 is 5. But we know that we're solving inequalities. So we shouldn't have the equal symbol, but the equal symbol just helps me, just guides me, because I already know how to work out everything with an equal symbol. So what I do is I remove it and I write down the bracket as it is given to me in my inequality. And it happens to be the same way as previously, but it could be the other way around if you wanted. It might not have a line, the equals attached to the bracket, so it just happens to be the same way. Now example 3, what I'd like to do is I'd like to show it to you using two methods, because I want to explain why we have this note keep x positive, because that is the only rule you need to remember when solving inequalities. Now when it comes to this, let's write it. 6x plus 7, okay, equals 8x plus 5. You need to collect like terms. Now you need to get the x's on one side and the other terms on the other side. Now Some of you might take the 8x on the opposite side, and some of you might take 6x on the other side. So what we're going to do is we're going to work them both out. Now, if we need to keep x positive, I should take 6x to my right hand side, because I know mentally 8 minus 6 is 2. And so if I take 6x onto the other side, the plus 5 should go on my left hand side. So that means 7 minus 5 equals 8x minus 6x. 7 minus 5 is 2 equals 8 minus 6x is 2x. And so 2 division by 2, because the x is positive, so I can continue. And so that means that the x value over here is 1. But we know that we don't have an equal symbol. We need to change the equal symbol. And we need to put in the inequality, the bracket symbol of our given inequality. Okay, so here my bracket is open like that. So 1 there. So that means that x is going to be any number that is smaller than 1. Now let us say you worked it out differently. Let us say you worked it out that where you took the 8x onto the other side. So let's rewrite it again. 6x plus 7. Let's do it with the equals. 8x plus 5. Let's take the 8x onto this side. So I'm just going to go through it, because this should be now very something that is I forgot the word, but anyway, that is easy. Let's just put it that way. Anyway, 5 minus 7. So 6 minus 8 is minus 2x equals 5 minus 7 is minus 2. Now this is where we have to think about it. Over here, we cannot just automatically take the minus 2 onto the other side. It doesn't work that way. Right now, the x term is negative, but we need to make sure to keep x positive. So what this means is I need to flip them round. And when you flip them round, their signs change. So the negative 2 becomes positive, the negative 2 becomes positive, and the x term becomes positive. It's the x term that you have to make sure. And then it's 2 division by 2, which is how I have it listed over here, written on my left-hand side, equals x, and now we are okay. So no matter which one you choose, which method you choose, which they're both the same method, the only thing is you decide to, you don't realize that you should have taken the 6x on the right hand side to make sure that it remains positive, and that's fine. It doesn't make you don't have to worry about not realizing. But you have to be aware of the rule that if the x term is not positive, just make sure to make it positive before you take the multiplication onto the other side, before you do the division or you do the multiplication. That is all you have to make sure. So whichever one you choose, whichever way you want to go about it, you will always arrive to the same outcome, to the end. All right, guys. And that is the end of today's lesson. So check your instructions on announcement. I always upload your homework, your answers. Please do your work. You've got your screenshots, and let me know on Microsoft Teams, guys. All right, take care.